Well, today we're going to talk a little bit about chess. Because I played a lot of chess in my time. And I've gotten a lot of good lessons from a lot of good players. So with that being said, we're going to talk about one of my stories of playing chess. I used to play chess with this guy by the name of Greg. But everyone knew him as the Octopus. He could play 8, 15 people at once. I once seen him play at least 50 people at the same time and beat all of them. He had a whiteboard, and it had victories and losses. And it was on New Year's Eve, approaching midnight. I was in the 7th or the 8th grade, and I remember watching him play all these people. And there's that whiteboard, and he had a check mark for everyone he took off. And he was up to damn near 100 people of victories. Except this one dude. I remember I was playing him. I was playing the Octopus that night, so I was like, I'll get in on this. Checkmated me in like 4 or 5 moves. Boom, done. A couple people down the line, this other guy finally got him. It was approaching midnight. The one out of the 100 finally beat him. But he's playing 100 different games at the same time. He's going down the line playing all these people, the Octopus. Great player. And this one dude had his piece of paper and he's writing all his moves down. He's going over them. Octopus had it all up here. Didn't need that. Had it all up here. Years later, I would get a lot of lessons from the Octopus. I would play a lot of games together. Now, the thing about it is, when I was getting lessons from him, chess lessons, we're always playing. I'd show up before kickboxing. So I'd play him for about 2 hours every day. And it was 4 or 5 days a week, and I was playing him regularly, all the time. I'd buy him a cup of coffee. I'd get him some baked goods, pay him a couple bucks, and would play. And it was by game. And I was always paying him. I never beat the guy once. And he was telling me a little bit about himself. And I put it in the archives in Montana. I did an interview with him. Great dude. He didn't care about the interview because he wanted to play chess. And that's the only thing that really mattered. But in the interview, he told me he was 17 years old when he beat Bobby Fischer in Milwaukee. Bobby Fischer came to his high school. He chose some of the best chess players. Bobby Fischer is one of the greatest chess players to ever live. The Octopus, Greg, great dude, played him when he was 17 and beat him. He didn't beat him, it was a draw, to be fair. But 17-year-old beating Bobby Fischer, who's one of the greatest, that's pretty much a victory. Yeah, I always thought that was interesting. Yeah, the Octopus, great dude. And when I'd play chess with him, I asked him, how many moves down the board are you thinking? And he said, I don't know. But one time I was watching, because I can think 3, 4, 5 moves down deep on 3 different variants. That's how I can think in chess. That's how far deep I can get down. But I watched him one time and he was breaking down a move to me on what I can do. And I counted. He was 8 moves deep on 7 different variations. 8 moves deep on 7 different variations. Now that was impressive. That was beyond anything. Now Greg, great dude, man. Chess lessons, he remembers everything too. He remembers the small details, even years later. I really enjoyed those lessons from him. He'd always write down our moves, our games. I got some of them laminated in my room. Taught me a lot about chess. Yeah. And Greg is the Octopus. Is such a great player at chess. That's the only thing that really matters. Oh man, he's so good. Hosted a tournament in Montana. And I played in it. I was playing against guys who were 1800s, a couple 2400 ranked dudes. And I was at the point in my development of chess where I could get them. It was either anyone's game, but I could get them in the game. I could get them. It was really close. They're really close games, and a couple wrong moves, they got me, or I had them on the ropes. I could see, though, that playing with Greg, these guys were nowhere near their caliber, of his caliber. I used to playing Greg. I was used to playing the Octopus. And the Octopus is so good that when I was playing against the guys who are 2,400, 1,800 ranked on chess, they weren't that good. And I was able to give them a run for their money. Because chess isn't something that I study all the time, right? Because I do a lot of martial arts. I do a lot of fighting sports. And that consumed a lot of my time, but playing chess with him developed my mind in a deeper way. I really enjoyed those days playing with him. Yeah, he made me really good. And I was about 22 or 23 when I was taking those lessons from him. Yeah, I remember those still to this day, yeah. But I used to get chess lessons, in my opinion, from if not one of the, I'd say he's easily ranked one of the greats, or the greatest, amongst the greatest of chess players in the last 100, 150 years to play the game. He's that good. Yeah. You know, he told me he's not as good as he was when he was in his 20s. It's because he got older, this and that. So, wow, that made sense. Great guy, Greg. And you know what? He always would go to the middle school and help train the kids how to play chess. He's one of the greatest chess players, and he'd donate his time like that. And I thought that was amazing. Yeah. The Octopus. Amazing chess player. Never beat him once. Never even got close. Always would crumble my system. He taught me the system, broke it down to me, how to maneuver, and then he'd crumple me. I never beat him once. So when I teach people chess, I teach them how I was taught. Show them the moves, and then break them down. Show them the variants, and if they remember, and then crush their system. Because that's how the Octopus taught me. And he was one of the greatest chess players ever. So it'd be a shame for me to change that system because it's effective. It made me good. So people get mad when I'm teaching people chess, and I teach them how I was taught. I could show them different variants. I could be kinder. I could be X, Y, and Z. But that won't make them good. When you teach people chess, you want to make them good. You don't want to make them okay. You want to make them good. Very few will understand that, but that's how I was taught. And I understand if I change it any other way, it would watering down that game. It would water down my lessons, and I wouldn't absorb it as hard, and they wouldn't be as good. Yeah. Till next time.